Hi.
I'm here with Alexis Lim. She is candidate for VP of Community and Wellbeing in this year's SU elections. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So let's just get right into it. In your manifesto, you highlight the need to do more in terms of diversity and supporting LGBTQ, disabled, and minority students. How will you go about this? What are some concrete actions that you plan to take?
So I know that currently we have a lot of campaigns and events that have to do with LGBTQ around the school, and there's also societies with it. I think what we haven't seen from these societies, from these people, is them really coming together and getting the student body involved with their activities, because we know that they have activities and events, but we're never really fully immersing ourselves in getting involved with them. So I know at City Sport they've already made changes for gender neutral bathrooms. So I would really push for that, because I know it can be uncomfortable sometimes for some people. Whatever really makes them feel not as comfortable as they can be. I want them to feel like this space is safe for them, this space is great for them. And with internationals and stuff like that, diversity, what I would really like to do is, I'm an international myself. So for all these societies that have cultural societies, let's say Italian society, Singapore society, all these countries where they have their own societies, I would like to create a whole week where we're able to learn more about the culture and about the food, let's say, what they stand for, what their values are in the country, and how they are usually. So I want the students to really get to know and see a global perspective on everything. So all these kind of things is just basically to get every student to feel like they're safe here, they're secure, and that people actually want to know a bit more about them and to understand them better.
So that's great. So another thing that you mentioned in your manifesto is involving and promoting more sports.
Sports and other societies as well.
Yeah, of course. But you're a volleyball captain. You've been volleyball captain for 2 years now. How do you think these sports relate to the university and all the campaigns that the sports teams do in terms of charity and events at the city bar? How do you think that can be improved to include more people or more students?
So currently I think the students that aren't involved in sports are just completely not involved in sports. And sports is a really strong thing that can really help students, I feel, whether it's playing competitively or just playing socially or doing it on your own time, really. Sports really helps the mental health of students. It really gives you a relief of the day and everything. So I feel getting people involved in sports would be really, really good for the student body. And currently all these events that we have at City Bar, all these charity promotion things, it actually helps the community as well. Like you said, the charity projects, netball does a lot of charity projects, so does hockey, and we work with I know City, the sports teams works with City Takes on Cancer as well. So they do a lot of things for the community outside of sports as well. And getting other students involved with that would be a really great initiative to just help the community. And how I would like to get other students involved is creating, let's say, more social sessions for different sports, because a lot of students, let's say, they think just because we tried out for the team and we didn't make it in, that means we're completely disconnected from sports. But no, if you don't have the time to commit and you just want to come in once in a while, I want people to make sure that they have some place to go or some activity that they can do and not feel like they need to commit fully to anything. So yeah, implementing more social sports, having the student body just engage itself more in maybe the gym, any other kind of sports really.
Sounds great. Another thing that I think is quite important, especially in this university, is mental health and how the mental health department is in this university, which is currently difficult to get in, difficult to get sessions in.
Yeah.
How would you go about expanding that, or do you have any other ideas?
So currently what I think is happening is just that obviously mental health is such a big issue nowadays. I'm pretty sure everyone we know, every other person has something going on which has affected their mental health. So a lot of times we don't take the first step to actually say, I need someone to help me. I need someone to like talk to. I need someone to help me. We just think we can do it on our own. And the people that do decide, I'm going to take that first step and talk to someone, it's a hard process. It's not too difficult, but it's also a process where we kind of question ourselves in the middle. So what we have at this university is we kind of sign up on a page, and then you would have to go in to have the first consultation for them to recommend you what kind of things that are going on. And I think that's great that the university has these kind of resources to help with students, but I think it needs to be bigger. Definitely in this day and age where people left and right are all having who need support for mental health and it's affecting their lives, we need to make this program larger, bigger, something that students feel comfortable with going in and saying, I need help today. So when we're taking that first step, we want to encourage students to not think about the taboo behind it and not to feel like it's a bad thing to go in and ask for help. So I'm really thinking of pushing for campaigns where it's openly, people talk openly about how, let's say, mental health support has helped them throughout their lives, and encourage other students to really, if they're feeling somewhat just even slightly out of themselves and uncomfortable with being in this environment, to talk to someone.
So, what is the difference between your campaign as speaking of community and other people's campaigns?
So I think that everyone has really great points, and a lot of people are thinking of taking on big issues such as climate change. That's something that I've seen a lot as well. And I do personally care about all these issues. I do care about climate change, but right now my main care for is the students. So something that's involving the students of this university. So I think what makes my campaign slightly different from everyone else is just that I'm really trying to push for everything for the students. Whatever they need, whatever they want, I want to make sure that they can get it. And yes, on the side we'll be definitely doing projects for, let's say, helping the environment and stuff like that. I'm taking a climate change module myself, and I really believe that there are things that we need to do around this university to make different changes around here. And not just about the environmental issues, but about women's safety, support, and everything in this university. But right now, whatever the student wants and needs, I'm going to be there to try to fulfill not every one of their needs, obviously, because that would be quite impossible, but whatever I can be able to do so.
So this role involves a lot of talking,
Yes.
and involves a lot of approaching different students from different courses, from different ethnicities, from different backgrounds. That's something that's unique about City University, most universities. How would you approach people who may not think the same way as you do, or may not have the same approach as you do, in terms of different motions to put up in the SU, or just different ways of tackling different issues?
Okay, so that's a really good question, actually. So I know I come from a very different background from a lot of people here. So I'm an international student, I'm a female student, I'm an Asian student, I play sports. So that's very different. I think there's a lot of different backgrounds that people do come from. And I have spoken to quite a lot of people that have different views, different opinions, and different things, different religions from me. And what I can do is just try to be really understanding, and I feel that I can be quite empathetic towards people. I can try to understand them a bit more. And obviously, I disagree with some of the things that people say in this university, but I will try to take it into consideration and try to help as many people as I can. Obviously, not everything that I say will be something that someone agrees with. So I was talking to people about coronavirus, and some people are saying it's blown way out of proportion. I think that it's blown way out of proportion, but it's better to be safe at this time of the year than to have more people dying, more people infected. And so I will try not to put my kind of opinions on them, and try to listen to them a bit more. So I can't say I can do anything specific, but I can listen to the students. I can try to see where they're coming from and try to make changes to make that happen as well.
Well, that's great. I hope you're lucky in your election.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you so much.